Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. I hope you're all having a really good holiday season. And other than that, I'm going to jump right into the daily crypto update. If you're interested in monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities, go check out my premium content. You can find a link to that in the description of this video. And also go check out Binance if you're interested in trading altcoins. You can also find a link to that in the description. Let's get started with what's been going on with the general market. We can see that cryptocurrencies are definitely bouncing, not going as high as they were previously for most of them, but definitely recovering nicely here, slowly but surely. Mostly green over the past 24 hours. We can see Ethereum bouncing really nicely. It has been one of the cryptocurrencies that's been acting stronger than most. Cardano looking pretty good here. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but they are looking pretty good. We got Lisk now at $24. Verge pulling back a little bit actually. It has been one of the cryptos that moved up quite a bit, so it's normal that it's dropping a little bit now, but as you can see, there's some pretty big movers actually, and definitely, not really. We can see Substratum up 55%, amazing move now above $1. So yeah, let's get right into the technical analysis side of things, starting off with Bitcoin, and we can see that we're kind of hanging on this uptrend line right over here, dipping a little bit below it, and what it's looking like to me is what I predicted in my previous daily crypto update, which was that we're going to move horizontally through this uptrend line on the Bitcoin chart and basically consolidate a little bit in this $14,200 area until we can finally move back higher, right? So it looks like we could lose this uptrend line, and in that case we'll probably just see some consolidation. That's also kind of seen in the Bollinger Bands that are pulling back and contracting towards the price. We got the middle band flattening out a little bit. So, the price could move higher and then consolidate in the $15,000 area. That's possible as well. But I do think we're going to see some consolidation for Bitcoin here. A couple things on the indicators. RSI flattening out. Yet another sign of consolidation. As far as the MACD and histogram go, we can see that we're maybe starting to round up a bit on the histogram, which is good, and we are pretty overextended on the MACD, so we could start to see that hook back over slowly but surely. For now, that's not happening just yet, but it looks like the right formation. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's go over now to Ethereum and take a look at how it's been doing. So actually, been acting pretty strong. We can see that we bounced off the middle band on the previous candlestick, moved back up above $700, and now we broke above the $715 resistance level, which is now going to be support, and we're currently trading in the middle of our range between $715 and $783. So that's really where we want to be right now. We may see a little bit of consolidation there. To be honest, we're still holding, the uptrend pretty nicely with this middle band, so we could even see it move a bit higher. We're pretty far from the upper Bollinger Band, which is good. That means that we have some room to move to the upside still. And indicators back above the uptrend line on the RSI, which is really good. MACD still below the orange line. We could see a crossover pretty quickly. We might see a move like over here where we remain below the orange line for a pretty short period of time before moving back up. That would obviously be quite bullish. And yeah, we are negative for the time being on the histogram. We'll just have to wait and see, if it's going to be short like we had over here pretty much. So it's a little bit early to tell, but with the strength that it has, it may see a little bit of consolidation, but it's pretty much ready to move back towards the upside, I would say. And for a lot of these cryptos, we may not see, the big bounce before the end of the holiday season, just because, people aren't really buying and selling cryptocurrencies that much, right? The volume is low. So let's go to Litecoin now, and Litecoin not doing great, not doing that bad either. Basically just consolidating. We're holding above our $267 support level, which is sort of this small range that we put in over the past couple of days. And that's fine. We can see that the middle band is coming back towards those price levels. RSI flattening out a bit. MACD still moving lower with a histogram. So it looks like we may see a little bit of consolidation here as well for Litecoin, right? If we break above this $300 mark, that would be an added bullish sign. That may mean that we're ready to move back higher. But if you just even look at the price here, I can even go ahead and put in a downtrend line actually. We are definitely experiencing some downward pressure on the price. So probably going to get some consolidation in this, $275 area for a little bit longer until it's ready to, you know, get some added strength. Let's go over now to our next cryptocurrency, which is Ripple, and take a look at how Ripple has been doing. So currently trading back below $1. You know, it acted pretty strong during the whole drop, even went a bit higher towards $1.36. So we're definitely pulling back from there. We are actually even putting in a bit of a downtrend, and actually, now that I drew this this downtrend line, we can see that we are in a bit of a symmetrical triangle formation, right? Not much room to move though, so we should see a break either to the downside or the upside pretty quickly, and that'll probably just be in the next couple days. It's actually acting pretty decent today, moving more towards the upper range of the symmetrical triangle, which is good. And I don't know if we'll see, you know, a full break to the upside just yet, but we'll probably move at least horizontally through the downtrend line, right? I think that it would be pretty unlikely that we lose the uptrend line. We have quite a bit of support actually at these levels, so I'm not really worried about that. As far as the indicators go, you do have to realize that we have been moving up now for quite some time with those big breakouts that we had. So it is starting to cross back, you know, turn back over towards that orange line. Histogram definitely downtrending, and actually on the RSI we broke through the downtrend line for the time being. So that's actually a pretty good sign. We're holding above that 70 line. But, you know, if we do see some consolidation here for Ripple after all the breakouts that it had, then we're probably going to see that that RSI drop below the 70 line and, yeah, get some further consolidation. For now, though, it's still looking pretty strong and could definitely move higher because the middle band is pointing to the upside, Bollinger Bands as well, and that's a good sign for the time being. Hopefully that lasts. Let's go over now to NEO and take a look at how it's been doing. So NEO actually getting a pretty nice bounce. I like the setup here. Right now we got a very strong doji candlestick on the previous candlestick, and nice buying up the prices from the middle band, so that's always a good sign. Looks like we may get a bounce here actually on the MACD, and RSI moving back up now. So uptrending, we got a new uptrend line on the RSI, and we broke out of that short-term downtrend that we were in. So I think that we're just going to see it move higher here in the next couple days, probably get back towards that $70 area, which, you know, that's a tricky place to be in because there is quite a bit of resistance there, and if we're able to break above that pretty cleanly, then we really will only have one more resistance level before we can get back to the all-time highs. I think that should happen within the next month, but we can definitely move higher here. It's just going to take a little bit of strength to get through this little block over here where there's quite a bit of resistance, and we got the previous uptrend, downtrend line, stuff like that. We're in the middle of our Bollinger Band range, supported by the middle band, so this is actually a pretty nice area to get in, you know, I think before the move higher again. That's not financial advice, of course, that's just my opinion. Let's go over now and take a look. One more thing that I should point out is that we did actually go negative on the histogram. We'll have to see if that's just going to be very temporary or if we're going to go back to the positive zone. Let's go towards Vertcoin now, and Vertcoin unfortunately hasn't been acting the strongest. We're holding above the $77.21 support level, which is good. That's definitely what we want to see for now. Really falling off on the MACD pretty heavily. Same thing on the histogram. Looks like we're trying to get back above that 52 line on the RSI, which should be good. But unfortunately, we have this middle band that's pointing downwards, right? That's the brown line right over here at $8 currently. And Bollinger Bands as well, moving towards the downside. Usually what that means is that we could see a little bit of a downtrend happen. So if we do lose this $7.21 support level, there's a pretty fair chance that we could go back towards that $6.35 support level and maybe even break below that, right, if things get worse, which would put us in this range over here and really would push back any kind of price increase for Vertcoin for a bit of time. So we ideally don't want to see that, but what's going to be key here is making sure that we can break back above this middle band and return to the middle of this range between $9.40 and $7.21. Time will tell, of course, but I'll keep you guys updated as per usual. Let's go over now to our next cryptocurrency, which is Monero, and take a look at how it's been doing. So Monero consolidating here, that's pretty much what I expected. We can see that the middle band looks like it's going to flatten out in that area as well. Bollinger Band's still looking pretty decent. And as far as the indicators, flattening out on that RSI below the 56 resistance level. It'd be good to get a move back above that. Downtrending on the histogram towards the negative, downtrending on the RSI, just beginning of the crossover really. You can see that we had a very long move to the upside while we were uptrending, and finally crossed over on that, which kind of indicated to me, like I said in my previous daily crypto update, that we're going to see at least some consolidation, and it's looking pretty likely at this point, right? Now we did get a green candlestick today. We weren't able to make it our way back above the uptrend line, which if we do manage to do that, that'll obviously be a very bullish sign for Monero. But for now, it's still looking like we're going to consolidate in this $340 area a little bit longer. Let's go over to our next crypto, which is going to be Omisi Go, and see if it's been doing good. Looks like we're bouncing kind of like Neo here, actually very similar. We had got the previous candlestick, which is a strong doji candlestick, now moving higher on the next one with higher lows, higher highs. Looks like we could get a bounce off the orange line on the MACD, obviously a very bullish sign. We didn't go negative on the histogram, which is good, and we bounced nicely off our uptrend line on the RSI. So looking pretty strong here. I think we're going to move higher in the next couple days, back towards that $18 level, and then if we can make our way above $20, that'll probably push us towards the new all-time highs. We may not get back above $20 just yet. That may take a couple more days, but I think really within the next 2-3 days probably we could get our way back towards that $18 level. So pretty good setup here, and probably the last time that you can get in at these lower prices before we move back towards that $20 area. Of course, that's just my opinion and not financial advice. Moving on to Lisk now, we can see that we're currently sitting at right under $23. Got a pretty nice bounce today actually off the previous downtrend line, which is actually our current support level. And MACD kicking back into action here, getting some added strength. Same thing on the histogram. And we dipped temporarily before that 70 line, now back above it. So that's usually a pretty good sign. We have this uptrend right now that's holding, and very good sign that we crossed above the 70 line, right? That means that we're still in bullish momentum, still have bullish strength. So we're going to be looking to continue this general upwards momentum over here. We can see that we faced some resistance at the upper Bollinger Band. That's currently sitting at $24.40. So still a little bit of resistance here, you know, in this $24 area. But if we can get above today's high on one of the previous candlesticks, on one of the next candlesticks, so that's at 24.41, we should easily be able to move back towards those all-time highs, right? And since we do still have some bullish momentum going here, I think that we can probably see that happen within the next 2 weeks. I just redrew and extended the uptrend line, the current uptrend line. So this is going to be the level that we should expect to hold on to and trend along moving forwards. But as you can see, we really got a nice spike here with this candlestick. Broke above this $20 resistance level. And yeah, we're back into this mid $20 range, more or less. So hopefully slow but steady climb back towards that $30 area now. Overall, though, Lisk has been one of the cryptocurrencies that's been acting stronger than most, and it's continuing to do so. So I like how it's acting right now. Let's go over to Cardano now, and we can see that we had a little downtrend here, very short term though. I'm going to go ahead and draw that in, draw that downtrend line, and we can see that we actually broke above this downtrend line with the current candlestick. We actually broke out of the downtrend. It was a pretty short term downtrend, like I said, but it is good that we managed to really break above that nicely. And what that means is we're out of this, we kind of canceled out any further droppage. And what I mean by that is, you know, it was looking like we could have gotten something like over here where we really started to collapse a bit back to some lower levels, and this breakout pretty much canceled that. So we're back above this downtrend line. Weren't able to get above our previous downtrend line over here, and that's where we're facing resistance. So we may trade a bit along this channel right here. Could move a little bit lower in the short term, but if there is more strength, we'll probably just break out even higher, break out above today's high of 3,100 Satoshis, and that would pretty much start pushing us back towards all-time highs, right? into the high 3,000 Satoshi level. MACD did not end up crossing over, stopped dropping lower, kind of flattening out / moving towards the upside. Looks like we may have stopped dipping on the histogram as well and got a nice little kickback up on the RSI, so we didn't end up dropping below that 70 line. And finally, IOTA. Take a look at what it's been doing. So IOTA got a little bounce off our $3.42 black horizontal support level that I drew in. We can see that it's been pretty major support now for a while. We definitely don't want to break back below that. We did drop lower on the big drop, but managed to bounce back up, of course. Now we really want to make sure that we don't break below this support level, because if we do, it's going to send us much lower. For now, we're holding it though, which is exactly what we want to see, and we're getting a little bit of support off this previous downtrend line over here. So moving forward, I would say that we want to see it hopefully move above $3.56. There's some resistance there, but really just move higher into this range up until $4, right? Which might be a little bit hard to cross over just yet. It depends how much strength it has. But we can see that the Bollinger Bands did kind of flatten out. Same thing with the middle band. So we could see some consolidation here at this point, I would say. In this range, like I said, at around $3.75. MACD taking a pretty big dip here. That could mean that it'll start coming back over pretty quickly. Downtrending on the histogram and flattening out right above the 50 line on the RSI, which is actually a good support level. This is the end of the Daily Crypto Update. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, and thanks for watching, everyone.